Hello and welcome to another timeless transmission with Soul Healing with Bree. We're gonna receive some messages today. We're gonna receive some inspiration today. I'm just getting this set up. So this space would be particularly helpful for those of you that maybe are in a household like me where there's football fans, but you're not a football fan. You don't really care too much. You've tried, maybe, to get into some of these things, but just not for you. If that resonates, and you want to spend your Sunday today just doing some, let's set some intentions. My intention for this space is that this serves in the highest and best good of all, beyond what our egos are desiring. We're tuning into the highest frequencies available to us in our Oversoul channel. We're connecting with Source, of course. That's where all this streams from. But we're going to be getting some messages about the energies of December is what I'm hearing. Interesting. So this is actually, wow, okay. My guides have just told me, this is fun. They're going to do the December energy update live right here, right now. This is a first. Okay. This is like hilarious because I'm having a moment where my guides didn't tell me this before I put this on, and they're telling me right now, and I'm kind of like having I'm in like my teenagerness to say like, what the heck? Like, couldn't you have said something? Couldn't you have? And they're just like smiling at me as I'm saying this. They're just kind of like, okay, Bree. Okay. So, what we're going to do is, okay, let me see. Let me just check in with them really quick. Okay. They're going to channel a little message through me. It feels like a lot of Pleiadian and Arcturian energies. It's a pretty strong Pleiadian and Arcturian group. It's emissaries. It's, let's see. What I'm seeing is the High Council of Light is kind of overseeing. So I'm going to explain this before I drop into the trance. And when I do drop into the trance, I'm going to turn the comments off, just so everyone knows. It's the only safe way for me to do this type of thing. But what they're showing me is that I'm going to explain actually what I'm sensing right now in the Akashic Records on the ground as I'm grounding us, as I'm preparing us to take in this message. I'm also asking that no one be driving or operating machinery, because during trance messages, you'll probably have an energetic shift. I'm going to be real with you. You might feel parts of your body start to change temperature, twitch, tense up. Just to be real with all of you, because I've never done one of these live before. This is the very first time. I've never done this before. A little bit caught off guard, but that's okay. It's the best of things. So, okay. So the High Council of Light, I'm seeing kind of watch, kind of in like a table. They're sort of sitting at a table, but they're sort of watching. And it's this energy from the High Council of Light of what I'm receiving from them is that we are you. We are you. So this High Council of Light is more so the embodied connection point, we can say. Not the monad. It's higher than the monad. It's higher than the monad. But the High Council of Light is, what they're telling me is, they're basically us in, we can call it the future, but it's more so in spirit. So it's the aspects of us that are in spirit. And but what we're going to receive the message from. So I'm just explaining this and setting it up. And I will be turning off the comments in just a minute. But I want to set this up first. So within the Akashic Records, basically, I sense when I'm doing a collective reading, and that applies to when I do the monthly updates. I ask to open up a few different things. I'm going to talk to you about this as I'm setting it up. Timothy, don't rely on the Bible for your spirituality. Moving on. I'm actually going to start the muting now. Okay, thank you, Timothy. So we're going to mute, and I'm going to go into the trance portion. All right. Don't remember how to do this. Okay, settings. Comment settings. Don't allow comments. Got it. Okay, comments are turned off. And now we're going to be doing the trance channeling as I continue to explain how this is. So when we're tuning in from the Akashic Records for the collective readings, I sense this. They're telling me all of you will experience something different here. So this is just what I am sensing. But when I'm doing the collective readings, I sense it as in the great halls of the Akashic Records. It is this very, I will explain it to you so that maybe you can tune in and visit these records with me, live time. And for anyone just joining, we have comments off because I'm doing our December energy update live. So within these great halls, the way that I see it is these very long tables. This long, long corridor of tables. And I'm seeing it now. And there's bookshelves along the sides that sort of, it looks like they go off into space. So there's no walls in this part of the Akashic Records that I personally tune into. It's like stars above and then books that go up as high as you can see. You can't see where they end. They kind of just like fade off. That's the best way I can describe this imagery in the Akashic Records. Okay, now we're being asked if you would like to receive this message for your highest and best good, to receive the imprinting that is available for you in your Divine Soul Blueprint, then simply say yes now. Thank you. All right, so now we're opening up the message. They're reminding me no driving or operating machinery. Okay, so I'm seeing now that there's these balls of light. They're asking me to just describe this to you, how it's triangulating for me. There's these balls of light that are moving around all of, it's these rays. I'm seeing it as rays. So from the space that we're accessing this message, I'm seeing many different colored threads. Okay, go with me. Allow the space. A lot of you are feeling this energy. Allow the space. So all of these threads, they go down and they connect into Earth. Okay, they connect through lots of things, but eventually into Earth. Now they're showing me 3i Atlas and C2025 R2 Swan. Tuning forks. They're showing me these two are tuning forks. The way that they're showing this to me is that 3i Atlas is carrying a very high frequency. Very high frequency. Like, the way that I'm seeing it is it's way brighter than C2025 R2 Swan. Much brighter. But the way that I'm seeing them from the Akashic Records, and some of you will get to a place where you can read the Akashic Records with your eyes open. Eventually. Some of you are there. But eventually, you might get there. So, what they're showing me is that they're somewhat entangled. They're working together, and they're working as a recalibration. recalibration. It's almost as though the way that they're showing this to me, and this is live time being channeled, they're showing me 3i Atlas is emitting all of these very, very high, it's like gases and plasma. Gases and plasma. And then that's moving through our system and reactivating soul memory for the whole system. They're even showing me right now that the planets have soul memory reactivated. I know it sounds a little crazy. It even sounds crazy to me. But what they're showing me is that what 3i Atlas did was unlock some of these planets so that they could start emitting their frequencies again and harmonizing. And they're showing me when this happened for Venus, a lot of us, and they're showing me this was around November, the beginning of November, before November 11th. It's coming in so strongly. Okay, let me get myself recalibrated. So what they're showing me is that when Venus was affected, or that's not the right word. When Venus and 3i Atlas communicated is what they're saying, and exchanged is what they're saying, all of us here on Earth, we had our emotional body recalibrated and attuned for a fifth dimensional frequency experience of Earth. Okay? But they're saying Swan is helping. They're saying Swan is acting as an absorber. I have no idea what this means. So Swan is acting as an absorber. I see. It's helping to assist with processing some of the soul memory that we're struggling with. This is so wild. Okay, so they're showing me that Swan is kind of acting as, it's like a swan. It's very swan-like. If I can feel into this energy, it's very regal. It's very honorable. It also is very, I'm getting this energy of, they're showing me like ducks and birds and swans have this ability, what it does with water, how it handles water. I don't know. Swan does the same thing. It's like it's impenetrable almost. So it's able to basically withstand a lot. And they're showing me it's withstanding a lot for humanity right now. It's like absorbing. And it's doing a lot of this, they're showing me this. It's like a balance. They're working together to attune. That's close. Okay. Now they're moving us on to something different, and we're moving into a different section of the Akashic Records. This is I'm laughing at the things they're saying because it's so funny. Okay, they're saying this is the Soul Memory Lounge, and it actually has lounges in it. Like chaise lounges. It's very luxurious in here. But they're saying that the reason that this space is this way, where it's very inviting and you can tell you can relax. You can tell you can snap your fingers and someone will like come bring you a beverage or whatever you need, your refreshments. They're saying the reason it's like this is because soul memory requires a loving environment. The soul memory requires a comfortable environment. And then they're asking us all to just observe how we sense this soul memory lounge. Gotta love it. So just feel the soul memory lounge. Okay, now they're showing me Bishar. It's interesting. Hybrids. Okay. They're showing me Bishar, they're showing me hybrids. The way that they're communicating this to me, and this feels it's not Bashar, but Bashar's part of the panel. It looks like a panel, maybe? Panel? Yeah, it's like a panel of of star beings, that they all work together in the higher dimensions. And they're saying that if you experienced any physical resistance to the energies coming in, then the way that they're showing this to me is that you're likely to be one of the first wave that increases life expectancy. So they're showing me right now that those of us that our bodies are a little bit struggling with these shifts, it's because our vessels are basically going to become a contributing factor to more longevity for humans. Okay. So basically what they're showing me right now is we're getting these like really, really, each part of our body is assimilating and calibrating to a higher frequency. So our bones, our organs, our blood, our tissue, like our skin, our hair, they're saying everything is attuning to a higher frequency. So give yourselves grace, because what you're doing right now is helping your humanity's ability to experience a more depthful and heaven on earth like, they're saying like, which is interesting, experience And then they're giving me this imagery right now where they're showing me that all of us here, so all 46 of you that are taking this in live, and then all of you taking it in the replay, which apparently I'm going to have to post this publicly, which is fun and fine. Anywho, they're saying that we're all getting this recalibration evolution in a swift period of time. So they're showing me that all of us are basically going to, between now, although this did start in more like 2022 is what they're showing me, like this recalibration of our physical vessel, that we're going to be experiencing a whole new version of our physical vessel, they're saying in 2026. So I'm just asking, let me just ask them some questions, because this presents a lot of, so I'm just going to talk out loud so that you can hear what I'm saying to them. So does this mean that our ascension symptoms are going to start lifting? Yes. Does this mean that we will have a more comfortable experience of the solar flares? Yes. That's nice. Does this mean that December might be turbulent? Emotions. Okay, so what they're showing me about this is that the month of December, such high frequencies, the month of December, take care of your emotional body. They're saying, yes, take care of your physical body. Be very good to your physical body, but be very good. Be very good. Be very tender. Be very gentle. Be very compassionate. Be very accepting, be very embracing, be very inviting with your emotions. Because they're showing me right now the emotional body and the physical body are very entangled. They're very entangled. The mental body too. But it's almost as if we're looking at a triangle, yeah, they're showing me a triangle. The bottom, if we're to see they're showing me a triangle. I'm just trying to explain and go along with this. But the bottom of the triangle, they're showing me the physical body and the emotional body are very much like on the same plane. Okay? And then the mind is the point of the triangle. And so what they're saying is, as we're ascending, and they're showing me now like a bunch of triangles, like kind of like the Sri Yantra. What they're showing me is you know, as this triangle, all of our chakras are ascending, everything is ascending and moving up and moving up and moving up. So what they're showing me is the month of December, it's really important that we kind of do a little bit more, this is so funny. If we're going to favor these things a little bit, which is like odd to me, I would think that they should all be equal, but they're just saying for the month of December, it would be most serving for us to be very delicate and tender with ourselves around the emotional. They're also saying that part of the reason for this is because if we're to focus or zero in on the mind, particularly the stories of the mind, they're showing me that would lead to spirals, like endless spirals and not the good kind. The kind of spirals that make you feel trapped, that make you feel stuck, that make you feel like you're in an endless loop. They're showing me that would happen if in the month of December we were really, really focused on story, 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 mind, 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 story, 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 mind, mind, mind. Okay, now they're taking us back to the Great Halls. I see. And they're just saying, let these two divine, benevolent beings, and they're referring to Three-Eye Atlas and C2025 R2 Swan. I wish that had a simpler name. But these are recalibrating us. Allow this process. Do not resist. Allow your emotions. Do not resist. And they're also saying be open to, it's like, I don't know how to explain this energy. They're saying be open to playfulness, be open to just being, it's like taking yourself less seriously. They're being very like hilarious. They're saying like, just stop taking yourselves all so seriously. You're all taking yourselves so seriously down there. Just let go, enjoy this. You're so taken care of. You're all taken care of. Let go, surrender. They're saying treat yourselves to sound baths. These help. Some of you don't know this. Some of you think the frequency music, the sound baths, the frequency healing, you think it's all rubbish and you're writing it all off and yada, 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 yada. They're saying just give it a chance. Just play some of this stuff in your house. Go to 432 hertz, 417 hertz. You have pain in the body? Okay, well, go to 396 hertz. You've got a headache, put on some 963 hertz. You're feeling out of touch with source, put on some 963 hertz. You're feeling ungrounded, put 417 hertz. They're saying, oh, your mind is causing you chaos. Use binaural beats that are intended to calm you. It's frequency. It's all frequency, energy, vibration. It is all frequency, energy, and vibration. Okay, now they're just landing us. They're giving us a little, it's like hugging. I don't know, there's a lot of hugging going on. There's some hugging, so allow yourself to give some hugs here if you want, if you're a hugger. Okay, now they're walking us to the door, taking us to the door, sending us back to our bodies with love. What a trip. Allow yourself to land. What a trip. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna get the comments back on. Ooh, gotta drink some water first. Allow yourself to drink some water and take it. This is so new. This is such a new experience for me. All right, everybody land. Okay, let's get the comments back on. Earth here? We Earth here? No, that is Earth here now. Okay. Okay, everyone, welcome. Ooh, my voice is going to do some things now. Welcome back to having the comments on. And, whew, I'm pretty sure that we did a pretty good job of explaining what I was seeing, so I don't need to say that. The feeling was like so much support. There was so much support for us. There was so much support for us up there. It was like I was sensing a lot of you like having particular needs, like a blanket or like to light some sage or to grab a crystal or like to get in nature. I felt like pets. Was a lot of you had pets probably? I felt like all of that stuff happening and I was like, guys, I'm getting distracted. And they're like, dear. They're like, just stay with it, stay with the message. Stay. Like the whole time I felt really held. And I felt as if all of you were being held. And I felt kind of this, a little bit of a sensation like I needed to like stay on the ground and like turn the comments back on a bunch of times. And my guides were just like, no, dear, no, dear. Just stay, just stay with this. Stay with this. So does anyone want to leave a word that's really standing out to you right now about this message? I am like buzzing from head to toe because that was a really strong message. I couldn't help but giggle a lot. You still feel like you're being held. Beautiful. Yeah, me too. You felt Toth. I feel like he was on that panel. Okay, the panel's going back to me. The panel, it was like, it was Bashar, and it was so weird because I'm used to seeing Bashar as in Daryl Anka's body. And this was like actual Bashar, and it was wild. Very intergalactic. It also felt like a reunion. It felt like a cosmic reunion. It was like a bunch of different looking beings, and all of them were together and like reminiscing and like happy that they were together. And no one was, when you go to the Akashic Records, you don't experience things like there's no comparison up there. There's no jealousy. There's no separation consciousness. There's no, it wasn't the Galactic Federation. I did question that right away. I was like, oh, is this the Galactic? The whole time I was there, I was like even though I was saying things, I was also like in myself and saying things with them telepathically. It was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. It was very wild. It was very wild up there. Very good. Very good. The big thing that they were showing me was that we're like really raising our frequency. It's long and short of it. I'm going to pull one card and then I'm going to get off the transmission and probably do a salt bath. Because this was like that was a really high frequency trance channeling. Real quick. Some moments you felt really hot and now you feel really cold. Yep. Welcome to the Akashic Records of the 7th plane. Yeah. Oh, right. They talked about the body stuff. That was really nice. They showed me that a lot. They showed me like, it seems like a lot for us right now, all these high frequencies, like our bodies are experiencing a lot of vibration, a lot of new sensations. But what they showed me was that it's going to get like so much easier. I don't know, like so much more. I'm like excited because they kind of showed me that, oh, and the longevity thing. Oh, it's all coming back to me now. The longevity thing. Like 200. They showed me like people were going to be living to like 200. How long have we been here? What time did I start this? Oh God, what is time? I was only up there for like 30 minutes, right? It was fine. I'm not going to get kicked out anytime soon, right? I don't think, right? Who am I talking to? What am I doing? At least this is good practice for eventually when I do go do some trance channeling like publicly. Different game. It's a really different game. Time is an illusion, but it's like What I'm getting about that is that we're really healing our relationship to time. So it's more so important right now. Yeah, there's a time limit on TikTok. It kicks me out at like an hour. But I think I started this at like 12. So we're all good. We're going to chill and talk about what just happened. You have a lyric. What's the lyric? But time. Let me talk about time for a second. Let me get some crystals. And let me pound some water. I'm going to literally like chug water on this live TikTok. Welcome to my channeling process. Love and blessings. Please ground my body. Help me feel like a human again. Thank you. I'm feeling very much like my Pleiadian self. So, human feels a little weird. Human feels a little weird now. But time. Okay, so what my guides are still with me. I'm receiving from them. It's just not like I'm trancing. They're just showing me we would be really served to heal our relationship with time. Because time it's a construct. We can call it a construct for sure. It's a construct. But it's a construct that we're going to be operating within. So it's better that well, first of all, we can understand that time is malleable. Time is malleable. You can freeze time. You can definitely freeze time. What do you think when I close my eyes and I'm receiving these downloads from these guides, I'm receiving like the full-blown like textbooks upon textbooks upon textbooks of information. And I have my eyes closed for like 2 seconds. And then I open my eyes and it's all integrated. It's all there. It's all available. Because the Akashic Records are outside of time. So you're going to get every possibility there. That's why, too, you can go to the Akashic Records. You can channel something about the future and it can end up being wrong because the timelines are there's so many of them. It's like every timeline that you can imagine, it exists. It exists. So it's more so like, which timeline are we choosing? I've got to figure out a better seating position to get myself back and grounded. Any questions about the channeling in particular? I'd love to take a few questions about the channeling. Oh, that's way better with my feet on the ground. Okay, I'm better. Oh, yes. Okay. Fantastic. Any questions? Happy to take them. No questions? I'm so shocked. Nothing. Nothing at all? Do I have the comments turned back on? I saw some comments. My channel's always open now. I don't really have a process for that. In the beginning, it was just showing up to the practice of it every day, tuning into source, really just reestablishing my connection to source is what I'll say. And then once that was flowing, it was just the sky's the limit. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Ren. I think Ren is saying, I love this. I think it's playful that TikTok is restricting time and we are discussing time. Absolutely. I've done a great deal of fascia release in my, okay. Yep. Yep, the fascia, the emotions, the release. Oops, I did something. I don't know how to get back to it. Swipe left to close. There we go. Okay. I like randomly had all this stuff on the screen. I don't know how I did it. I'm not a body person. I wouldn't be who I would guide you to if you're struggling with a body, just to be perfectly honest with you. I'm more so your gal about your connection to your guides. I have been crying all morning. Oh, well, that's a good release, I also, will I post this to YouTube? I think so, apparently, because my guides were like, hey, by the way, we're doing I didn't even put face lotion on. I didn't curl my eyelashes. Nothing at all. And that is fine. And that is just fine. A lot of it's ascension stuff. But it's what my guides are saying right now is that our body is a really important like dashboard. It's like our it's like our baby. I don't know how to explain this. But like our soul is who we are. It's what we are. Okay? Our soul is what we are. It's who we are. But we're like in, we're like in the tissue and the cells and the everything of this body while we're here. Oh, Michelle, thank you. You sweet girl. I just did the download for humanity just then, the live trans channeling from a whole bunch of beings. You'll just take in the replay. I don't remember who was there. My higher self was the one that was doing most of the broadcasting. Do you make a conscious effort to channel, or does it happen spontaneously? Both. Both for sure. Sometimes it's like I'll know when a big message is coming in. And the big messages that come in, it's like the way I know is because what is coming in is really piquing my passion and my curiosity. So that's going to let that be kind of a driver for you with your channeling, because, you know, the things that you're going to want to channel on are the things that are really, are very much piquing your human interest. And, you know, things that you're very just genuinely, I'm curious about this. Just genuinely, I want to play with this. Just genuinely, I want to explore this. Those are the types of things that the channelings are going to be, they're going to be transformational for you. Each time you channel, you will come, you know, you'll step forth from the channel and you'll be someone different because you'll be more of you. And every time you channel, if you're doing it with the intention to serve the highest and best good of all, if it's a selfish channel, and this is so paradoxical because my guides always say start out channeling for you, and that's the truth. But that only will take you so far. So eventually, to keep your channel locked in, it's got to come from a higher purpose, a higher mission, a higher dharma that your soul set forth for you. Your higher self set forth for you. So for me personally, my mission here is to unify the field. That's been my mission since day one. I didn't really come into the realization of this until the last few years. At first, when my purpose started to reawaken within me in 2020-ish, I knew it was just I wanted to help people. That was all I knew. That was the only one single piece of information that I knew I wanted to help people. I thought I'll do life coaching. I thought I'll do, you know, and I do life coaching in my practice. That comes in for sure, and it's important for sure because the channeling is a piece of it, the guidance is a piece of it, the coaching is a piece of it, especially because you'll receive this information from these ascended masters, let's say. Let's say you have, you know, you're really working with Yeshua or Kuan Yin or Mary Magdalene or Mahavatar Babaji or Lao Tzu or the Taras, the green Tara, black Tara, white Tara, all of these different ascended master beings. Let's say you're working with them. Eventually you're going to get to a point where you need your human self, your human framework to make what they're sharing with you palatable for people, because they're on another level. They've been done and through that, son. They've been done and through that. They already walked that. So like they're not dealing with everyday human stuff like we are. That's why we are the instruments. We need to be present. We need to receive from these guides and make it connective for humanity and reestablish it. And what we're really doing here is calling back soul fragments. So when you're sitting in this space and you're receiving a healing, the reason that is happening is because you are calling back soul fragments from you. So let's say you had a long series of a pattern where you handed your power away, where you allowed other people to bully you, where you allowed other people to stop you from sharing your truth or expressing yourself. Well, that is like a whole part of you and your soul that you've like handed away, and they're soul fragments, and they're all floating out here. They're floating out here, and you'll know you have these because you'll be thinking always about the other people. You'll be thinking always about the problems. You'll be thinking about what you want to change. You'll be looping, looping, looping. And that's not because like that just sucks and that's just what humaning is. No, it's because there's soul fragments of yours. They belong to you. They're meant to be with you. They're meant to be healed, whole, integrated. So you call those soul fragments back, healed and whole. And now you're moving forth with all of your energy, and you don't have a bunch of little bits and tiny little parts of you all floating around, unaccounted for. They're not being, that's too, this is like going along with some of the things that a lot of you ask me about, like spirits coming in and stuff. It's not necessarily spirits coming in. It's like stuff getting glued to your soul fragments. That's why the way to heal it isn't cast it all out, and know what's bad so you can avoid it, and tiptoe this way, and don't go near that, and avoid this, and don't go ba-ba-ba. It's knowing, no, I'm good everywhere I go. I'm healed and whole. And if a little part of me drifts off and decides to get, mean, or, I don't know, really fearful and shut down, or all these different things that we leave out there, they're still there. They're not gone. All you have to do is call them back. And the mind will tell you, what? Why are you going to call back those broken parts of you? They're not broken parts of you. They're soul fragments, and they belong to you. And they're not going to do you any good if they're floating out in association with, especially another person that's here still alive on the planet. How are y'all feeling? I want to check in on everyone. You intend to call them back, healed and whole, again and 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 again, and as long as it takes. You got to call them back, healed and whole. You got to welcome them back. Sometimes it's an inner child part of you that you need to tiptoe. You need to tiptoe in there. You need to gently knock on the door and then sit outside the door until they're ready. Sometimes the parts aren't willing yet, but you still offer the olive branch. You're feeling good, good. Is calling back your energy the same as calling these soul fragments back? It's similar. Everything is energy. So, yes. There is a book, and I have it here this time because I'm sitting with my books. I would say, this is what I want to say to caveat this. I started channeling before I read this book, but this book did help me. This is Opening to Channel by Sanaya Roman and Duane Packer. This helped me a lot. I actually don't even remember reading this, and I have no idea what the contents are, but I know that when I first started channeling like 4 or 5 years ago, I read this and it helped me. It helped me understand the process. So that's one I would recommend. What I would have to say about the passed on relatives is respect their sovereignty. I would never encourage, while mediumship work does come up for me in sessions, that's because the soul has a message. I would never guide any of you to call the soul of relatives that have passed. Now, if they come to you and they're of the light, that's another story. Channeling did happen spontaneously for me. I'll never forget. I think it. I don't even remember how it first started. Man, it's so long ago. The love connection will always remain. You will always have that love connection. What are my thoughts on twin flames? I did channel on it. My thoughts on twin flames is that whether they're real or not isn't really up to me, but I can see that what I can see is that the way that people are dealing with that whole energy is of distortion. So people are relying on that, like people are using the twin flame thing to stay in toxic dynamics. Is what I observe of humanity from like my Akashic embodiment. That's what I see occurring. There's truth to it, for sure. There's truth to it. And I also see that if there is a real twin flame connection, it's going to be a real challenging one. It's going to be a real challenging one. I'm also seeing when I think they're showing me the movie Hancock. They're showing the movie Hancock. They're showing me, yeah, like when twin flames, if it is a real twin flame connection and then there's a romantic connection here on the earth plane, it's kind of like a Hancock energy. It's a little explosive. But I don't believe I'm the expert in that area, so I shouldn't have even really answered, to be honest. Any other questions? I'm going to do a little brief aura sweep for us, because this was a lot. I'm finally feeling like very grounded now, so I feel like we've gotten grounded. I'm getting the affirmation from my guides. This is what I'll say about the way that my channel stands today is it's a multidimensional channel. In other words, it's kind of like an omnipotent, omnipresent connection. I'm sort of always aware of my guidance and able to telepathically communicate with my guidance. So it's probably a different maybe stage of the game, I'll say, than if you feel like channeling is new to you, let's say. Yes, Roquiel, and it feels like he's probably been channeling through me this whole time. Let me read the words, though. Enter higher planetary service and be a blazing light. So today we really became blazing lights. So there's 46 of you here. I don't remember how many people were in the trance channeling, but if you're still here from the trance channeling, this is your message. You're meant to step into higher planetary service. A good blaze is nice. You know, what I'm hearing is that we're meant to enjoy this experience. We're meant to enjoy this experience. And we're meant to activate these higher frequency, higher understandings within us and then go out into the world and just be completely accepting of everyone. So basically letting go of these energies of, oh, it's the, 3D versus 5D and the bad versus the good and the duality and the ba 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 ba. We're above that. Sounds a little hoity-toity or whatever it might sound like, but we really need to operate above that. And by kind of keeping our frequency in a state of unity, we're going to assist that. We're going to assist that. So it's not deny that duality is present. We know that duality is present. And we also know that by unifying the field is the only way we can move through it. We have to unify our own field, and we have to unify all the outer relationships we have. We have to realize everyone is a fractal, a piece of source. Everyone. Everyone. We need to realize that so that we can work in harmony and cooperation and in a way that's going to feel good. It's in a way that's going to feel good. Okay, so I think I'm going to close it out here. I'm really looking forward to hearing what the heck my guides just said through me. Because that was a very powerful channeling. And I will post this, so I'll let you guys know when I do. And it'll be in my space library. And I'm really grateful that you're all here. This is a very first time. I've never done one of these live before. So, feels good? All right, let's take a deep breath together. Hold, and release. And just make sure to hydrate. Hydrate and take care of yourselves. Give yourselves love, compassion, kindness, gentleness. Allow yourself to be accepted by yourself. All right, namaste.